So today on Project Shop, we're back over here going to recover some copper. Now, we still have a bunch of copper that I stripped that's still on the table on the ground. I did clean some of it up. We got a little bit in the drum. And I still have some nice nuggets over here to deal with. All that stuff there. But we wound up going out yesterday and picking up a big old transformer. Now unfortunately, like most of these things, it's aluminum. Okay, so we're not going to strip all this wire. We're just not going to strip this stuff here. This is kind of where I call it. It's not really worth it. We're not going to strip the Romex. I get enough money for that as it is, and it just time wise it's not worth it. So what we're going to do is just start stripping these nuggets, lighten this bin up a little bit, and get some more copper on the table. And then I got to figure if I'm going to use drums. I don't know if I'm going to have enough copper for a bin. It would be easier to put it in a bin, but the problem with that is I have to maneuver the trailer all the way up in here. It's just yeah, it's a process, so we'll get it worked out. But for now, we're just going to start stripping some big old nuggets. Been having a problem with my switch. It might just be because it's outside. We're gonna have to open this box up. Probably clean. I think I had to open this box and clean the contacts before, so we'll have to probably do that again. Yeah. Look at all that. It's a big melted glob. We're gonna cut that off. Flung the belt off. Okay, that's going to be annoying. We're going to take this apart, and I guess before I open that up, I should probably unplug it. You know, let's not electrocute ourselves over here. Alright, I need a flathead. We'll be back in a second, but already I noticed there's a loose piece of metal. That ain't good. Okay, so first thing I noticed, most of these were just laying down in there, and that looked like it was arcing on some stuff. Looks like we had some arcing here, a little bit of arcing on that screw right there, which is not good. Now, originally, this machine just had a on and off switch. It really doesn't need a contact switch. This is just something I had with this motor that I had on my granulator. I robbed that motor from my granulator. But I think what's happening is we're sticking. I think this is sticking slightly out. So I'm going to pull this off. I think this is what I had to do before. I'm going to pull this off and just trying to clean that up a little bit. We'll just blow it out. We'll check them contacts. It definitely looked like something was arcing there. I don't know if that was from this go around or what, but there should be no power on that lug, so I don't know how anything could be arcing. I'm pretty sure this was from here and it just vibrated off. These other screws, I'm not sure where this, I guess this one was probably from here. These other screws vibrated, that held this thing on. I don't know what these do, but they seem like they're a little tight. Like that one, the spring is not, whatever that is. I don't think that actually, I don't know if that does anything on this. See, all this does is this activates a coil and sucks these in. So I don't think these actually have anything. If that is the problem, which I don't think it is, we could just move that lug over to T2. I think this was a 3-phase switch. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and pop this plastic off. Hopefully, we gotta be really careful. About dropping anything, because we're gonna lose it in the rocks. That could be problematic. Now, I do have a switch for this. It's a reversible switch. I don't know if this is a reversible motor. Huh. Standard rotation. Oh, this might be a reversible motor. So we were looking to, I do have a switch that would allow me to put this thing in reverse, which would be a huge upgrade. Because sometimes, man, it's a pain in the butt when you get a jam. Huh. Okay. Just keep that right there. What I can see is, I mean, it looks pretty good. What I can see is, though, a lot of dirt. down in that lug. Let's pull this out real quick, gently, not lose any parts. I mean, the contact doesn't look bad. There's a bunch. That's probably what's happening. Oh, almost lost our contact. There's a bunch of dirt down in there. I think what's happening is the off button is staying, so it needs contact from here to here, and you turn it on. When you push that, I guess it starts it. I don't know if that's, I guess it stays, I don't know. Oh yeah, because when this goes down, when it starts it, this pushes and keeps that engaged, right? It probably just pushes it right there. It doesn't even have to push it that hard. Keeps it engaged. And then on this side, to stop the motor, you're just disconnecting the little, you know, the one on this side. So I think what's happening is, look at all that dirt in there. Let me see if I can't show you. All that dirt. Oh, yeah. This is where I need some electrical contact cleaner. I can just blast this out. I think this is probably exactly what happened last time. So hopefully we just clean this out. Don't lose my little bits. And then I did find this down in here. I don't know what that is. Or where it was supposed to go. Maybe it went here. I don't know. It doesn't look important though. We'll just let that slide. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of blow that out. I do have some carbon choke cleaner. It's not really the stuff we should be using on this. I don't know if it'll distort plastics, but I think I'm just gonna go get some and blow this thing out. Or maybe I'll just go get some air and blow it out. I think that'll be a better choice. We'll blow it out. I'll get this thing back together, get it all buttoned up, put all the screws back. This thing was literally held on by one screw. The two bottom screws have fallen off. So yeah, I think it's definitely time for an overhaul. I'm really sad my my little things are getting rusted over here. I gotta find some WD and hose all this stuff down. I mean, it's not gonna affect the performance of it, but it looks like crap. It's just sad because this was always kind of nice and not out in the weather. But it's where we're at. Heck, look at that big pile of copper down there. That survived the trip. And there's still a big pile of copper under here. We got to get this thing. I got to get a machine out here so I can pick this up. That wire stripper's heavier than it looks. It was heavy on its own, and then I added that big 5-horse motor to it, and it's just next level heavy. So alright, we're gonna get this buttoned up, and we're gonna get back to stripping. Okay, we got this thing all buttoned back up, and we got power to it, so let's look at that. Amazing what a little bit of maintenance will do. That's a good thing I'm not afraid to just tear into something, because that could, you know, some people that don't know would just be like, oh, my thing's broke, and been down and out. But me, I like to fix anything and everything. So okay, let's get back to stripping. Alright, let's get on with some of the big stuff. This is 500 MCM. Yeah, I got attacked by fire ants the other night. I didn't see the pile. It was at nighttime when I came home. I backed up my trailer. I unstrapped everything and I was wrapping the straps up. Well, little did I know, I was literally standing right in a pile. All of a sudden I started feeling bites on my feet. I ran over to the hose, took my shoes off, hosed it off. But since I had been moving around and standing in multiple places, I didn't realize it. And then my dumb self took my shoes off and then went back to go pick up the straps real quick. I stood right back in the pile, got tore up again. So yeah, we're gonna have to get some fire ant killer out here. These guys drilled this hole and man, they made a mess in the yard. Oh, they're back. Okay, I got most of this sorted. Now, I think I'm going to do pretty good because he told me, the guy goes straight up, he's like, man, there's probably 300 pounds of Romex in there. And that's what he told me. I looked at it and I was like, well, I don't know. But I doubt there's 300 pounds in here. So we got most of it out of there. And we got some nuggets. Look at this wire. Now that's interesting. Look at that. It's like some rubber stuff. Okay, I hope there's not too much of this in there. That would suck. So we're just going to run all this 600 real quick, or 500 or whatever that is. And all the big stuff. And then I actually got to cut off here in a minute. But I'll strip most of this wire and then come back later. Wire stripper's actually running good, even though our chain's a little stretched. The on and off is working great. Definitely just a little bit of dirt on that off button. I think that was it. When I was smacking that, when I would smack that button, it would loosen it up. And I scraped all the contacts. I cleaned them up, so they're making good contact now. So somewhere I got a can of WD. I need to hose all this stuff down until I can rebuild it. I don't want it to rust anymore. That's kind of sad that that's rusting like that. But for those of you that have been around a long time, this machine was a rusty mess when I was over there at my my house. It was literally like out in the rain many times. But we'll get this dialed in, and eventually, once we sort this area out, hopefully we'll be able to sort out a big shop. I'm looking at the price of concrete, and the slab on a big shop is going to be almost as much as the actual shop, which is crazy. So anyway, let's get back on some of this big old nuggets. We're running out of space. There's a lot of weight up here on the table, so I need to figure out what I'm going to do and cut another bin. I'm just going to have to back it in here. Definitely going to need a bin. I'm not going to force all this in a thing anymore. That is a giant copper mess. Man, that's a beautiful sight. Look at them big old nuggets, man. I'm gonna have to cut it off. I'm running out of time for now. I gotta go do something. So that's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna come back a little bit later, strip all this. This is all copper that needs to be stripped. Still some big stuff, but I gotta, at this point, I'm gonna have to stop, get the trailer back down in here so I can start throwing the stuff, because what's happening is it's just jamming up. We got a traffic jam, a copper jam, and it's starting to sling stuff on the ground. I don't like picking stuff up off the ground, and I can't sweep this, so all the little tiny bits I'm just going to wind up losing in the rocks. So I got some plywood, probably going to bring it over here after I'm done cleaning this up. At least I can sweep the plywood up, you know, sweep the stuff off the plywood. But hey, stripping that big wire, man, that's it's my favorite pastime. So, oh, they're finished with our well. Let me show you what we got now. We had to go down 220 feet. We got some really clear, good water. They did make a little mess, but it'll go away. It's part of the deal. So this is our new well. That blue pump over there, which I'll keep because we have the pump over there. You know what? I think the pump over there for the pond is bigger than that. Either way, we're going to keep that. I think the guy actually wanted that because it's that's a new pump. Our old well was over here, and that pump was up on the slab over there. But this well here, 220 feet down, we're into some really good water, and the pump is actually all the way down at the bottom, and we have some serious pressure now. Before, it would trickle out. We had water like that before, so now we got some really good water. So at least we know for at least the next 10 or 15 years. Wow, that's some really weird noises. You know, we're gonna have some good water. Yeah, literally, like our well, you know, you have a bladder. When the bladder would run down, we were getting water that was coming out like that. I don't even know how the pump was staying prime. So that's freaking awesome. Now, for most things I'm going to be doing around here, I'll pull right off the well, you know, or the pond. Our pond has, so we have no shortage of water now. And me, I don't care. I mean, not for like drinking water. We filter all of our water, so we could actually pull from the pond. We have filters that we run our water through, and then we put them in glass jugs. But this actually has a filter, and I think that pump is actually a little bigger than the one, so I couldn't use that over here. But I think I do have a pump like that. I still haven't figured out all this mess. Or why that's there, or where that goes. That's got to come from the pond. That's what that is, and I bet you that's the primate. That would make sense, because go up there, and that one goes back to the pond to circulate, and then one of these goes, I don't know where. That's crazy why that gets so big. And then where does that even go? Huh. That's interesting. I want to kind of dig all this up and see where it goes, but I know some of it goes way out, way back to the back part of that field. See this property, there's that fence there, and then there's the field, and then it goes out into the woods. You know, we got a lot of property out here, which I still got to figure everything out. We'll do a property check. I need to walk around and check all my posts. That one's leaning, but it's good. And then I need to cut that lock that's on that gate. I just realized I've been over here working all this time. I just realized there's a gate there. And I would like to kind of, I don't know if I want to run the mower back here, but I don't know if this is our property line or out there. The crazy thing is, they had this electrified at one point. I don't know what that's about, or what they had over here that they would need that electrified, but it is. So and then I want to assume they would have had, I don't know what they would have used this for. Maybe chickens. Oh, this is the mess. Look at this mess. He said this is going to dry up. This reminds me of slurry when I used to cut concrete. Look at this. Yeah. Ruining my beautiful grass. But I knew this is part of it. The grass will, we get a lot of rain out here, this will get washed away in no time. We got this over here, which is kind of ghetto, you know. It's like rusted there, got old. Oh wow, that must be screwed down to it. It's like foam insulation from something, like a cooler or something. Beehive, don't know what this is or what it was. It looks like something was in there. They have even a fence down there. They probably had a dog in here or something, I don't know. So I don't know what we're going to do with that. Anyway, maybe we'll turn it to a chicken coop or something. I don't know, but I really want to cut down all this mess here. I don't even know what's under there. It just seems like an overgrown mess. I got here mow the lawn, get that riding mower going. And then we got this structure here, which is like, I don't know, it's kind of dilapidated and not even like, maybe they were gonna put a roof on it at one point. I don't know. We got all kinds of animals going off over here. I don't even know what would have been in here. Maybe some hogs or something. I don't know, but way out there, that's where the thing goes for the that pump I was just showing you. And then beyond that, that's all of our land back there. Hey, there's Murmur and Rusty. That's all they do is eat. And then when I come over there to feed them, they get all excited. And like they haven't been out here eating and crapping all day. Oh, we got another fence. Look at this. And some wire or something. So much weird stuff. Makes you wonder, like, wow, that wire's going over there and down under the ground. Always finding stuff. And you're thinking, like, you know, what were the previous people doing? You know? Like, what was going on in this corner that they needed to put that piece of wood there? I don't know. I mean, this structure looks really, really shabby. Like, almost like it's not even... I don't even think these things are in the ground. The wood might be salvageable, might be too far gone. I don't know. I'm just thinking this thing needs to be ripped down. Ultimately, what we want to do is homestead out here and grow our own food. We're gonna get some Murmur and Rusty. They're just here to live off the land the rest of their life. We're not gonna bother with them, but you know, we might want to. We're definitely gonna want to grow our own food. And what's up, Murmur? And maybe even build some stables out here one day. And board horses, you know, make money off the property. Something, I don't know. Look at them beautiful clouds. You know what's crazy? I always look at these clouds. I don't know how well this is going to come through. It's very interesting. Now that I live out in the country and we're in Florida, which is dead flat, you can see for miles, right? So you can see it's raining right there, which is pretty cool. But look at the clouds. One thing I notice about all these clouds is they look like they're sitting on something. They're perfectly flat at the bottom. It's very interesting. I wish that rain would come this way. Look, it's getting more and more. It's literally just starting to rain right in front of my eyes. That's pretty cool. But the clouds, man, it looks like it's like they're sitting on something flat. The bottoms of them are all at the same elevation. Except for over here. There's some seriousness going on back there. Anyway, I gotta run, man. You guys have a great day. I'm gonna come back out here later and shoot some more. We're gonna do some more scrapping. I gotta clean up that copper. And I really need to get on the stator wrecker, and I got some big boy transformers to crack. So I'm trying to pump out as much content as I can to catch up. I know I've been slacking, but that move took a lot out of me, and I appreciate you guys sticking around. Now that I'm going to start getting settled in, sort out what I got, and then we're going to focus on, look how hard it's raining now. Holy crap, that's crazy. It's like someone turned on a water spout. It's amazing. I wish it would rain over here. We got some little clouds, not much today, but anyway, man, I want to thank you all, and see you in the next one. I got to run out real quick. When I come back, we'll feed the animals. Maybe I'll get in the pen and feed Murmur. Maybe that's what I got. Some apples and carrots for him. I'll sweeten them up with some treats, and then I'll get in there and pet him inside. Like the guy in the comments said, he's probably just a big baby, but he's probably a 2,000-pound big baby with a lot of muscle. And I don't want to be headbutted by his big self. So, man, we got to get on this field. I gotta get that mower. Now that I'm not moving, I gotta get that mower out. How long do you think it'll take me with a 72-inch 40-horse mower to mow this field down? Think it'd take all day? I'm figuring I think I could do it in a half a day. That thing moves quick. Now, it might not be like a good cut, but we got to cut it down because I think we're losing our grass to whatever that brown stuff is out there. We want field, not... I'm going to have to go around and start plucking this stuff and whatever this brown stuff is. And it's just so beautiful out here, man. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen your copper dance before?